has caught over 800 10-pound-plus largemouth bass, holder of 13 worldwide patents, and inventor of the weedless trolling motor prop. Doug Hannon is the Bass Professor.
While some of us might fear it, because of the challenge, everybody likes to fish a new body of water, find themselves a new lake and a new place, to find that excitement and the adventure of beginning again and finding new fish. And that's one of the hardest things for people to accept, because as soon as a new body of water confronts you, you're confronted with all of these aspects of it. You tend to take the whole thing in, and you have not a clue where to start, because everything looks good, because everything's new. So where do you start? And I had a simple answer for that that's always served me over the years, and that's really to use those probabilities that we've learned by experience and finding fish on our old familiar bodies of water and apply those to the new water. And many of those things are really obvious, but we tend to put them in the background when confronted with new water. One of the most surefire bets in this is to consider the northwest factor. That's where you'll find the most abundance of life in any body of water, and it's simply because where we live, the sun hangs in the south. We're north of the equator. So most of the season of the year, especially the warmer months, we've got solar radiation impacting on that north and northwest sides of the lakes. And the reason I say northwest as opposed to just north is because the cold fronts come through and they blow out of that direction. So when a cold front comes through, that's lee to the northwest especially, not just the north, and certainly not the northeast. So I always start where my best probabilities are, and that's in the north and northwest parts of the lake. And then I look for the areas where the lake has already told me by the abundance of vegetation and all that this is the place where the sun has impacted it the most. Remember, that lake is nothing but a solar engine. It's being driven by the energy of the sun, and the sun is what's giving it life, feeding the plants, putting the oxygen in the water, and making a place for bait and therefore for big fish to feed. Big fish like a constant. They like to go where the most food is, just like the bankers like to go to Wall Street. That's where the money is. The northwest factor, that's where the food is. That's where you're going to find the big bass. Start right there on any lake, and it's almost a sure bet. If you've enjoyed today's edition as much as I have being here for you, then don't forget, click on that button and send this to a friend.